Lately, I have been completely obsessed with the let them theory. It's a super helpful framework for you if you're someone who tends to want to nitpick, change your partner, involve yourself in other people's business, maybe be a bit codependent or try to control what they do and don't do because you feel like you know what's best for them. That's certainly something that I can do with my husband, and I know it's a bad habit and I am working on it. So I wanted to share this let them theory with you. It is invented by Mel Robbins. She is a really cool creator, an author, an influencer. And if you don't know her, you can check her out on YouTube. The let them theory is based on principles coming from Stoicism, Buddhism, mindfulness, which is let go, be peaceful, whatever is, let it be. While those ancient philosophies are super helpful, there is something about the way Mel Robbins says it that just resonates with me. She just says, let them. If someone wants to forget their appointment at the doctor, let them. If your husband or your wife wants to call in sick for a whole week from work and you know it's going to get them fired, let them. They're adults, right? So the let them theory really applies to adults. I don't think it applies to small kids because you have to be a parent and you have to lead the kids in a different way than you do with other adults. So at least what I'm taking from this let them theory is, in terms of relationships, you gotta let people be who they are. You gotta let people do what they wanna do without micromanaging. And it's really difficult in a relationship because everything that your partner does directly influences your life and your quality of life. So if your partner gets fired, it has a huge impact on you and your situation, right? Because you share finances, you live together. If your partner makes some other crazy decision that you don't agree with, it does impact you as well. So I'm not saying that you should never discuss things. I'm not saying you should never find a way to communicate and you should just let people do whatever they do. But I think to a certain extent, it's really healthy, especially if you are a control freak. Here are the key ideas of the let them theory. So the first one is let people go. If they want to leave, let them. If someone doesn't want to be with you, let them. Don't beg. Don't try to manipulate them to come back to you. Don't do anything. If they don't want it, let them. And I just love this. Let them. It just really resonates with me. Let me know in the comments if you feel the same way. If they don't want to be there, let them. If they don't want to hang out with you this weekend, let them. Don't try to force it to make it happen. Don't force anything. The second one is let them talk. If people want to talk about you, if they want to judge you, people always have an opinion, and no matter what you do, there's always going to be someone gossiping. Always. It's out of your control. Let them. You do you. You do what you like, what you stand for, be true to yourself, and don't worry about what other people are talking about you behind your back. It's none of your business. Let them do it. Leave them to it. The third one is let them be who they are. So don't try to change people. And you can't change people. The more you try to force someone to change into whatever you want them to be, the more resistant they're going to be towards that change and the less they're actually going to change. So just let them be who they are. And this is what, honestly, in relationships can be so difficult because I'm sure you have a couple of small things where you're like, if my partner just did this or became more like that or did this, everything would be so much better. You have to let them be who they are. You have to let them change in their own time. If they even want to change, maybe they don't want to. You have to let them because controlling them and forcing them to change is not going to work. The fourth is let things happen naturally. Don't force it. And it kind of goes along the lines of what we just spoke about. You gotta let things unfold at their own pace in general, not even just in relationships, but it's just Sometimes you can't force it. There are things that are within your control, and then there are things that are outside of your control. And when something is outside of your control, you gotta let them. And then the second part of the theory, she wrote a book about this, is let me, which is you always have agency. You always have a choice, because let them feels like you're letting go of the outcome, okay? You're letting go of other people and controlling them and wanting things to be a certain way, but you always have the control when it comes to let me. You're in control of what you choose to put up with. If someone else doesn't want to change, you don't have to stay with them. If someone else is making one ridiculous decision after the other, you can leave. If people are being awful to you at your job, you can quit. And yes, you can always find a way to do those things. It's hard, but you can find a way. So you do have a lot of control, but only when it comes to your own sphere and your own actions. The rest of it is somewhat out of your control. When it comes to this last point, I'm definitely referencing Mel Robbins and her perspective, how she views it. There is another perspective which I actually believe in, which makes things a bit more complicated, which is that we do create our own reality, and it really matters what we think. It really matters how we feel. But then again, you should focus on yourself, feeling good, and letting go of the outcome is still going to create the best results for you in terms of manifestation and creating whatever reality you want to live in. This theory is often associated with emotional intelligence and attachment, and I can see why. I hope it gave you some helpful inspiration to let go and let them. Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.